Here we go. This is week 4. This is the last one of this season of the Terra Mystica Tuesday League for me. There will be 5 weeks, but each player in this 5-person pod gets a bye week, and my week is the final week. So yeah, this is it for me for this season of Terra Mystica Tuesday League. I'm obviously hoping to win. It would be nice to get a win here. If I do, then I have a good chance at winning my division. If I don't, then whatever. If I do win it, then maybe I'll show like the standings, but it's really not a big deal. We can take a look at the breakdown of this game. Looks like I'm picking into the 3rd seat versus Dongacho, Fire X, and 7-2-5. Bonus is sitting out this game. We have all 4 of the scoring pass tiles in the game, so I would not at all be shocked to see someone put Alchemists in. People seem to love Alchemists these days. That said, I did pick a no landscapes game, so I would be a lot more hesitant to play Alchemists than a lot of people often are. Something that you might do as Alchemists is open with a Stronghold tile, take a Priest, power action, build your Stronghold, build a 5-power Priest, then get to 2 ship and build 2 dwellings. That would be like a very typical sort of thing to do as Alchemists in this matchup. No guarantee that it happens this time. Swarmlings got put into the 1st seat. Swarmlings obviously good with like the multiple pass tiles for scoring. The competition is also less fierce a little bit for like the big building and especially TP pass tiles of Swarmlings. If the other pass tiles are in the game, which is good news for Swarmlings, they want fewer people competing for the TP pass tile specifically. The big building pass tile as well is really good for Swarmlings, but you have to think that someone else might just like snag that and build themselves like a Sanctuary for Water 1 at some point in the game, or even just open with a Stronghold. Swarmlings in the 1st seat, likely to get probably just a crappy power tile. You probably just take a power tile to secure the double dig in this matchup, I would think. Unless it's like Brown is in the game and Brown is on F5, then you probably begin the game with single digging G5 or something. It is notable, we should keep in mind that this is not a landscapes game. So, what does that mean? The fact that it's not a landscapes game means no Megatown bonus. You're not going to benefit from building like a ton of hexes over here in the east as Swarmlings. As predicted, Alchemists do get thrown into the game. I think it's a good economic track. It's kind of a weird, awkward scoring track. I think like around 5 Stronghold Sanctuary could be good for like engineers. You can get some scoring going during that time. It's also like looking like it might be a nice color wheel for engineers. I would definitely have considered putting dwarves into the game because of this late Stronghold event. Except that both ship tiles are in the game, so that interests me a lot less. Alright, Nomads do get put in to make it a nice color matchup. I think I like NGs here, probably. Just generically speaking, engineers are a very strong faction. Yeah, it's a good color matchup for them, especially if Swarmlings are on G6. I wonder what the case is for not starting G6 as Swarmlings here. There's definitely some argument for that. As for Nomads, Nomads get to start with a spade, which is nice. I think that if I'm NGs, I'm probably taking the 2 workers here. 2 workers is just good. That means that Alchemists likely get to start with Temp Ship, which is a nice opening for them. They can go buy a Priest with their first action, and then Temple Earth 1, build 2 dwellings. It's not as explosive as like those Alchemist starts where you open the Stronghold, get to 2 ship, build 2 dwellings, etc. But it's pretty dang strong anyway. And also round 6 TPs I think is pretty good for Alchemists. You prefer them in round 5, I think. This is like a good round to have TPs in, but round 6 is pretty respectable nonetheless. It's a little bit of a coin type game. I'm gonna put one more on NGs. I think that I really like the potential of opening double temple here. That said, I don't know how fast you'll get this neighbor here on E7 actually. That's a little bit awkward. Like, Nomads might upgrade this, they might not. Nomads could also open the Stronghold, but you probably just get F4 in that case and you're pretty happy anyway. I think Alchemists are actually pretty strong. I don't like playing Alchemists, but let's make someone at least pay to be them. Make someone pay to be this faction, which is going to be pretty expensive. One thing we don't know is where are Swarmlings going to place. The place where Swarmlings place makes a huge difference in the valuation of Nomads. Because what Nomads really want is for Swarmlings to come to D2, right? If they do, then you're really happy here as Nomads. Assuming that Swarmlings don't dig E2, which they probably wouldn't. They would probably just go for a town on these hexes. Or maybe even with C1 if Alchemists don't start there. But you don't know, right? You don't know. Another minor question for Alchemists is, where are you getting your towns at? I'd say that question is probably up for grabs as well. Alchemists also have like plenty of other typical Alchemist questions, like with Nomads in the game, such as like, where's your connection coming from? Like, are you going to be able to get this D5 hex? Presumably Nomads might cut you off at B4. Are you able to dig through them? Are Nomads are Nomads going to play their Stronghold or not? And therefore, do you get to cut through here to connect over here to the east? Or do you not get to do that? In which case, Alchemists are a lot less attractive unless you get this D5 hex. Nomads could also be annoying and take G4. Presumably, Engineers want you to dig through here and be their friends that way, but you don't know that that's going to happen. If you do get up through G5, if you do start on G5 and get like F5 or something, then you do have some nice chances to ship through here. I was hoping that someone would bid me off of Alchemist. This was probably a dumb like test play. Because I really don't know like what my game plan is other than open Temple 2 Dwellings. Not that Temple 2 Dwellings is like a bad opening, but it's not clear that it's getting you much else. Yeah, okay. I have some regrets. I think I would literally rather be playing any of the other 3 factions here, so I definitely have some regrets. Let's see. If we start E5, we desperately need a spade to secure E6 to try to lock up this town, right? Nomads start on the spade, so we got some issues there. Also, Swarmlings starting and being cooperative with Nomads is bad news. I think that I'd probably just start C1 for the Leech. I'd probably just start here. It's Leech, it's a Hex, and then I get E5, B3 with my shipping. Like, I shouldn't lose E5 or B3. Nomads could beat me to B4 for sure, but I'm just going to gamble that they don't want this Stronghold. And we will start over here. Nomads could take F5, but I'll live with that risk. I'll try to find ways like dig out of here, get H4, stuff like that if need be. F5 is just a little more versatile in terms of connection. First of all, I can dig my way through here and connect the normal way if you started on E10. And secondly, if you manage to get F5, you can also get like this H5 hex or something. One other way that we could play Alchemist is not to advance our ship like crazy and just to take temp ship and like single dig B2 with our first action, and then Temple for Earth 1 and just come through here. It is a valid way to play as well. I don't know how good it is. Because the fact is, we're not getting a 2-ship, we're getting to a 1-ship parade, but we're having temporary 2-shipping. Swarmlings start G6, that makes sense. I guess I was talking about digging through here as if I was going to be allowed to do that, but there's a very good chance that Nomads could cut me off at F5 or something. Especially if Swarmlings double dig H6 and 7 with their first action. Now I definitely do see lines where I connect through the south here. Nomads definitely need a Stronghold for anyone to stop me on H4. There was a world where Swarmlings start like G6, H4, and that could have been very annoying, but unless Nomads go Stronghold, which is up to them if they want to do that, then I should be able to come through here and get H5. I'm going to try to beat Nomads to H5 for sure, even if they take away F5. Now that might be a pipe dream, but we'll see how it goes. Anyway, yeah, I do have a lot of regrets about the auction here. I just think that I could have been much happier camper, auction-wise. Oh, yeah, I was talking about coming down here through I-10, but that's not happening, is it? Because Swarmlings can just take H7 from me. Huh. I have not thought this through. I would say that, given the way that things have gone down, maybe we should try starving engineers at Leech. Like, collectively, that might be a good thing for the table. I mean, engineers have paid a lot of victory points to be here, though. Like, is it necessary to starve engineers at Leech? So many philosophical questions right now. Oh, Swarmlings steal a priest for their first action, so I guess I upgrade. That sucks. They are going to get this cult priest, which is nice. Cult spade, rather. We can still 5 power priest, so we don't have to panic. We can still do our shipping option potentially. Yeah, let's just upgrade here. We'll see how engineers respond to this. I don't think that Nomads particularly have a good way to get the double spade themselves, so yeah, this is somewhat expected that I wind up getting double spade here. I didn't expect that, so we do have to say we're pretty lucky there. The question is, do we want the double spade? Now, that might seem kind of ridiculous, but we do need to think about it, and I think sources say yes, we do. So how can we maximize the number of dwellings we build? I don't think that we can do better than this and this, right? F5 and B2 is probably about as good as it gets. So we'll just transform this and we'll transform this. And we'll just complete our temple for Earth 1 before we build our other stuff. It's not as important to get this F5 hex. It improves my leech to a 2-for-1, but that's not really that important in this matchup, I think, because I'm Alchemists, right? Like, Alchemists don't need to pay for 2-for-1s. where your main benefit is getting coins. If I'm Nomads, I'm single spading E6 and then trying to use my bonus spade on D4. Getting a 4-hex town here is just so good. I think you have to try to do that. But that's just how I would play. I don't know how FireX sees things. So, yeah, FireX having a think about things here. I would probably be going for. I mean, like, he could be crazy and go for F5. That would be terrible, I think. It doesn't hurt me economically early on. It does hurt me in the long term. But yeah, I think he is going for the. Oh, he left engineers the spade. That's pretty interesting. I would have just taken the single spade and then taken D4 if it were me. Nomads are at a very small disadvantage because they don't have. It's a relatively low coin game, which might hurt Nomads a little bit. They probably want to invest in this TP round a fair amount. I think that my goal this coming round, if it can happen, I would love to take this. I would love to pass on to this, open with a priest action, get to 2 ship, and then build B3, A8, E5, H5. That would be a filthy opening. I don't know if I'll be permitted to do that, but I think that would be my platonic ideal next round. And people shouldn't fight that hard for this tile, I think. No one has shipping. Engineers might have some incentive to advance their shipping, I guess. That's my biggest worry, I guess, that engineers want that, because nothing else right now is particularly appealing, economically speaking. Nomads don't look like they're having that long of a round, so I could end up on their spade, which would also be very strong. Swarmlings are going to have a longer round than me. Actually, Swarmlings don't have to have a longer round than me, but they almost certainly will. Swarmlings want to use their cult bump. They want to take either workers or, like, they want to do something here. Yeah, we're going to build, our round is pretty scripted from here. We're building B2, we're building F5. There's no town event this round. Like, the town event is early, so it's like a non-event. Okay, Dongatret has committed to having a longer round than I will. Dongatret is probably trying to pass on to the Nomad Spade. Actually, no, that's not true. I'm going to beat them to the Nomad Spade, right? They have at least 2 more actions. They could be targeting the engineer as pass tile. That's obviously a nice one for them. I guess the Dwellings pass tile is also quite good for me. It's not quite as good as this guy, because this guy lets me burn down 1 power. Sorry. This guy lets me burn fewer power, but I guess who really cares? Nomads might, if they want the double spade, Nomads will pass here. They'll probably take the dwellings tile. I'm assuming that they want to pass, but we'll see. NGs might want double temple here. I don't know what they want. They might want bridge. My next move is to build F5, right? So engineers could bridge and build C2. But again, engineers could they're going to get leech right now when Swarmlings upgrade and I build F5. So let's see how this goes. I'm a little sad that Swarmlings didn't starve engineers. I was in a game last week where we did wind up starving engineers, or where Swarmlings and Darklings, like, I was playing... I might have been playing... Yeah, I was playing Swarmlings, someone else was playing Darklings, Lord Ibis was playing Darklings, and then I upgraded on G6 and he upgraded on E10, and then Dwarves just went absolutely ham. But yeah, I do expect double spade from Nomads here. Wow, it's a 5 power priest. Okay, so this is going to be Stronghold Temple Earth 1, if I'm not mistaken. Seems very likely to be what's going on. Nomads did take Fire 1, by the way. That makes plenty of sense. That clearly puts Nomads into the into a happy spot. Do I want the spade here? The spade is what... Okay, engineers are going to take the spade, I guess. Right, that puts me in an interesting spot. Like, I could take the 2 workers here. Could that ever be better than just taking this worker power? That's a pretty interesting question for me, actually. Or, sorry, taking these points, because Swarmlings really, really want this, right? Swarmlings clearly really, really want this. But should I be going out of my way to deny them that? I really don't know. I think that there's enough pass tiles right now that I should just be doing what's best for me. And what's best for me is to get onto this guy, buy the priest, advance my shipping, and then just get on as many hexes as I can. I think that that's what's best for me. Swarmlings will get 2 priests off of this cult. I need to remember that Swarmlings are getting 2 priests off of this cult. And that is significant because they could turn this guy to blue. Do I want to be able to respond on this hex with a hard dig? Or would they just like come up here and like leave me alone? We'll see. I think that this is the move. I think that a good Alchemist game here involves getting our shipping going. Yeah, here's Earth 1. Fire X will miss out on Earth 1. There's lots and lots of stuff this game, so I don't think that, like, there's lots of ways to score this game. The track is pretty decent. All 4 of the pass tiles are in the game. Nomads look like they could go for... They're easily going to get 2 towns. They could go for 3. So, not too concerned. I think Swarmlings look scary. I think that Nomads are probably the least threatening looking. Wow. Okay, that's about as good as it gets for me, right? So that takes away a town from Nomads. Now, this could make them... The bad thing is that this could make them more aggressive against me. I don't want that to happen, but that very well could happen. Swarmlings will try to secure... No, they shouldn't, right? They should want their Sanctuary. I don't think that they can really afford their Sanctuary unless they get like some more leech. But I'm not going to give them that leech. Fire X goes Priest to Water. Interesting. Okay. I guess this is Temple for Water 1. And, oh, okay, fine. He has double spade next round. Do I just take the double spade again? That can't be right? Like, I am supposed to actually play for myself here. And I think that playing for myself involves taking this priest. I think the priest is just actually better than the double spade right now. Now it kind of bothers me that I'm leaving stuff like to the table, like I'm letting the table have stuff, but like for example, I let Swarmlings have this, but I don't think that I can just determine my game solely based off of what's bad for everyone else. I have to also think about what's good for me, and yeah, I think I'm doing what's good for me right now. Unfortunately, what's good for me might wind up getting me spade blocked next round. Or water 1 block, rather. I think I might lose out on water 1 next round. Though, given that I'll have all my dwellings out, right? I'll have 7 dwellings out. It might not be the end of the world to just Sanctuary water 1 next round for me. And if not, then I just go for my Stronghold, right? No big. What was that? That was a hard dig? That's gonna get taken back. Yeah, there we go. So Nomads do take their double dig on this hex, even though they're slow playing. Why are they slow playing? Are they thinking that they're threatening Earth 1? NG's bought the coins, they needed those. And this game does look very strong for engineers. They could build dwelling. They could end this round with 2 temples and 4 dwellings on the board. It's filthy. Alright, let's start advancing our shipping. Alright, we're about to convert a lot of coins into victory, or a lot of victory points into coins, everyone. There's just no way Swarmlings can get this, is there? No, like, Fire Axe will give him 3 points of leech. Then he could buy the workers. So he would have 5 in here and then 3 in here. Buy the workers. Then you have 2 here, 3 here. And then that's 1, 2, 3 here and 3 here. That's 6 coins and 5 workers. That's not enough to build the sanctuary. So we shouldn't have to worry about Swarmlings building their sanctuary this round, which is great. We'll see. I don't think that there's a bad pass tile that I can land on next round. Even if I don't get a scoring pass tile, I still get the spade, which is sick. So I'm going to be pretty happy next round regardless. And the Dwellings pass tile is going to be worth plenty of points now. This free leech is pretty tasty. Actually, I think that one of my dwellings should actually go to securing H7 here. I think I should get E5, B3, A8, and then instead of H5, which I can always ship to like next round, I don't think anyone's prioritizing denying the H5. I can just single dig this hex, right? That actually, I think that I'll just do that now. Because this is a town spot. Like, I've got my connection, but this is a town spot, and a town spot is very good for me. So getting 3 spades in 2 rounds as Alchemists, very nice. I didn't have to pay that much in leech to do it, so I'm pretty happy here. I think I do want to get E5. This hex represents, there are opportunities with this hex, I think. I'll just put it that way. This hex basically represents my southern connection opportunity, though now I feel quite good about a northern connection, honestly. Now I feel fairly good about getting northern connection if I need it. I also probably start declining leech here. I could probably start declining leech here because likely my opponent's likely my Stronghold gets built before I can really cycle my power again. but we don't know for sure, so I'm not ready to like decline 2-for-1s just yet, but that's probably the worst part about what I've done so far. The fact that I'm not really in a position to take 2-for-1s anymore. Yeah, I love engineers game here. I would 100% advance ship and build these 2 dwellings here as engineers, and I think that 7-2 and 5 will do that. Oh, Swarmlings. Wow, am I crazy, or did they get a free leech somewhere that I didn't account for? Because Swarmlings are only 1 away from building their stronghold, their sanctuary now. They're only a 2-for-1 away. Who gave leech to Swarmlings? They got a 3-for-2. But yeah, they are going to be 1 coin short of building the sanctuary, thankfully. I think Fire Axe is probably too savvy to give them that sanctuary. I'm clearly not giving it to them. And to be clear, I think that if they do get the sanctuary out this round, then they're also beating me. I think that right now, I'm very competitive with Swarmlings. I think I'm a little ahead of Nomads, and I think I'm probably behind Engineers. I might actually be behind Swarmlings too. This is a very, very dominant position of the cults that they have. This Priest to Water from Fire Axe, I think, is a little misguided. Swarmlings look like I think that the reason why Swarmlings did this is because they have a 3-town game in mind. We might see them pass on to this temp ship tile. I wouldn't be shocked to see that happen. Okay, Swarmlings do upgrade in the correct place, which is good. This is very, very good for Engineers, again. This is likely going to be a sanctuary town for Nomads here, because I am going to take away E5 as an option from them. And then we can start doing some oh, wait. Wow, I'm dumb. I was the idiot who gave leech to Swarmlings, wasn't I? I gave Swarmlings 1.5 coins by securing this hex. Let's get some free leech for ourselves down here. This is free leech, right? Oh, we haven't advanced our shipping. Duh. Let's do what Simone B does. Yep, okay, so the big building tile becomes available. Swarmlings do take the TP tile. I think that that is the right tile for them to take. I think that they probably, if I'm Swarmlings, what I do next round is I single spade F2, I Sanctuary Water 1, and then I take the 2-key town. That's probably not really a hot take. That's like exactly what you would expect Swarmlings to do. The one thing I can do to slightly mess with Swarmlings is I could go to 3 ship next round, build H5, and then dig D8, and then take E10. I mean, that just slows down Swarmlings' town. Like, they probably just do a town with, like, a lot more spades over here. So that might not really be worth anything. The one good thing is that it could, like, get me a town, but how valuable is that? Who knows? Let's see what Fire Axe does here. I don't know that I would have built this temple if I were Nomads. I think that he's considering Earth 2 or, well, wow, Water 2. Well, I mean, I didn't see that coming, I have to admit. See, there's a free leech that I might never get to use, because I might be building my Alchemist Stronghold. I also said single dig. That's probably going to be double dig, right? It'll probably be like F2, F7 for. Well, I mean, you can have this, I guess. Maybe I should have just built A8 first, but Nomads getting onto temp ship might be a little annoying. That might mean that they're competing for H5, but I could probably afford a dig on D5 next round. Like, they would also be coming to B4 next round if they take... I mean, I guess there's, like, no world where they take H5, right? If they're trying to get... They can't take H5 and beat me to B4, really. No, they can. They could get to 2 ship just on their own now that they have 2 priest production. Anyway, Nomads deciding to fight for cults is pretty good news for me. I'm thinking that they might be considering going for... Well, the thing is, like, they're going to get 2 spades off of this cult, but I don't think that Swarmlings are letting them have this. So, is this the big building, the coins, or is it temp ship? Temp ship is the most troubling to me, but it's the least likely to actually happen as well, so. We'll see how that actually goes. Takes the big building tile. That's probably the best tile for me, unfortunately, but such is life. Engineers are probably going to take the dwelling BP tile, so I'm probably going to just take the spade. Spade's good. And then it will be Sanctuary for Fire. Oh, okay, this is clever, because it's going to go Sanctuary Water 1 for engineers next, for Nomads next round, rather. They're going to go Sanctuary Water 1. And then they're going to use their cult bump on water. So they are going to get effortlessly to this step here. This is probably better for Nomads than I was giving them credit for. It's beginning to look like next round might be the Stronghold round for me, I think. If like, what could happen here is engineers could pass, and then they could go Sanctuary, or they could go Sanctuary Water 1, Sanctuary Water 1, Sanctuary Water 1, and then I'm locked out, and then I'm probably just, and then if that happens, then I am just building my Stronghold, right? Stronghold is a lot of points, just like Sanctuary is, so. Ooh, I get this. Okay, this is pretty welcome. It's a nice source of points for me. I suppose an alternative is that I actually just build dwellings and TPs next round instead of the Stronghold, and here's my rationale for that. I think my first option is to just go for Sanctuary. It's not very creative, but I think that it's probably just good to lock up Water 1. But if that doesn't happen, instead of going for the Stronghold, I am fairly tempted to go for a bunch of Water 1s. Also, how bad is it if I come over here and I might not have the resources to do that? It might not be worth considering too strongly. Okay, so we are just going Sanctuary Water 1, right? Sanctuary Water 1 is very good. And then we build the Stronghold in round 5. I think we can do that. Nomads took coins, so they are going to advance their shipping and get up to B4 is what I'm imagining. Wow, this is wild. No one has Sanctuary for Water 1. Should I be Templing Water 1 instead? Getting some more priests can't be bad. Like right now I have literally 0 cult presence. And I do want to eventually advance my digs. Is it a trap? Let's go for Water 1 now. My gut says no. I think that what I'm supposed to do is I'm supposed to Sanctuary Water 1, TP, build H5, and then send Priest to Water to get the Cult Spade. Then I can put the Cult Spade on I-10 and that can give me a town. The worst part about my game is that I don't have the Leech to go for this bridge. I desperately want this to be a town, but I don't have the power to go for a bridge in the short term, so I think that this means that I am going to be taking Leech. The Leech will lead me to a Worker's action, a Spade, or a Priest power action, or even just converting a Worker down, which is not bad. Alright. I should be able to get Priest to Water here. And then next round I'll advance my ship to get up to B5. Wow, Priest to Air and Priest to Fire are both still available. That might be better than Priest to Water, honestly. Like, these both come with rewards. How are they both still there? Wow, this was not the spot I was expecting. So, do Nomads think that they're getting F4? Like, if I'm Engineers, I'm digging the shit out of F4. Engineers just lost Water 1, so they should just take F4 in retaliation, right? Take F4 and then build TP. That's like a very, very, very strong round, I think. Get 3 TPs during the TP round. But hey, that's just me. Yeah, I mean, I think that this is an effortless decision to go for F4 here. If I'm... Wow, no, it's not. I guess there's no threat on Nomads taking F4 now, but interesting. I guess we'll give our blue friend some Leech. I'm not too concerned about where I'm passing right now because I think that it's quite likely that I get to I think it's quite likely that I got into a points pass tile, and again the Spade is still good, so I have no issue getting onto the Spade. Arguably, I should be building another TP instead of building a dwelling here. Thinking behind that is that I'm getting a Cult Spade, and I can advance my ship. So I should be able to build 2 dwellings next round, like regardless of anything. Swarmlings decline my Leech, by the way, so I'm happy that I upgraded this hex. I also just had an idea. This might be crazy, but I'm thinking I'm sending Priest here, and then I'm going to build my Stronghold. It'll involve burning down some power, which I can live with. Okay, the Priests disappear, which makes sense. NG single spade G3, which I guess makes sense. This is a connection hex for them. Oh, okay, I guess it gets them some Leech from me, so that's nice. if I'm Swarmlings, I probably just... Well, it's actually a little tough here. Swarmlings want to advance their shipping so that they can get F to H2 and build a town. However, they also want to... Well, okay, I think that Swarmlings can also buy the priest, right? When it comes time, Swarmlings will also buy the priest. Send last priest to water, but I arguably would have just sent that last priest to water first, then bought a priest, advanced ship, and then built H2. I think that's what I would have done if I were playing Swarmlings. But that's just me. Wait, Nomads sent a priest off. They buy the workers. Okay, so I'm not building the Stronghold this round, so that's unfortunate. Yeah, that's pretty unfortunate. Fire X, I hate you. This has me tempted to turn B4 to black instead. I'm still looking for my third town spot rather. Let's do this. I have a choice here. I have a choice to build another TP, pass onto my ship scoring, or build H5. Like, that's three pretty good options. The best economic option, of course, is to build H5. Building a TP is plus 3 points now, plus 2.5 points for the coin, minus 1 point for this. So that's a plus 4 point move to build the TP. And it also frees up dwellings for next round. The question is, how many dwellings will I be able to build next round? I think that's a pretty reasonable question to ask. Swarmlings go for the shipping tiles, so that makes passing less attractive. Building a dwelling now is only 1 point worse than building it next round, and it's a worker better. I would trade a worker for a dwelling any day. Am I taking this leech? I think the answer is yes, now that I'm not building my Stronghold imminently. Like, my Stronghold was waiting until this round. There's plenty of chances to get leech up until that point. So do I build this TP? That brings me down to 6 workers next round. I'll be able to build 3 dwellings for free. So yeah, I think I built, and there's a chance that I land on the TP tile. I think that it's unlikely because I do think that NGs should pass for this. If I get the spade, what do I do? The spade is another dwelling, right? That can't be bad. Okay, fine. So I'm doing this. Points are good. So I have to believe that I'm going to get more points. I'm imagining that the first move that Swarmlings do is a double spade H3. Swarmlings have a lot of points. That could be a problem. Actually, they don't need a double spade, right? If I'm Swarmlings, I probably don't double spade here. I probably just build H2, F7, E11, and I take the coins or something. That's probably what I would do if I were Swarmlings, but who knows? This is an obvious decline. Probably Dongacho just went to the bathroom or something. Okay, do we take the spade or do we take the TP tile? I don't think that answer is that obvious, but I think that we might be able to go for the TP tile, and I think that we could be okay to do that. Yeah, I think we could be okay just taking the TP tile for some points. Now it is a dwellings round, so a lot of people will want the dwelling. What are we doing? We're probably building. So we're have a cult spade coming, so we can just build 3 dwellings for free, and then we'll build a TP. It seems fine. And then that TP will feed us. And this round we go Stronghold, Temple for Air 1. Something like that. Okay. I believe. Now this is a lot of coins as well. Are we getting a third town? We didn't finish talking about whether or not we're getting a third town. If we are getting a third town, then well, then we probably just want to do it with A9, right? Yeah. If we're getting a third town, we want to do it with A9, so we don't care about B4. We would rather have Nomads on B4, and then we get some neighbors for our TPs here. So that's my decree. That's what I've decided. I apologize for my speed. It hasn't been the greatest. Everyone's been playing kind of a deliberate game. It's a very high level table. People are considering all sorts of like blocks and non-blocks. Ooh, man. Nomad's not taking this dwelling and going for the spade. That's spicy. They have no shipping right now either. Have to think that Nomads are coming after F4 at this point. Like, I would be assuming that that's the case if I'm Swarmlings, but I guess, or if I'm Engineers, but Engineers don't really care. I guess Nomads are going to lock up E4 first, right? That's probably what's happening. Nomads take E4 with their first action or something. I want to invest in this, or do I want? I think I kind of want this more. This is a little better, I think. Anyway, I don't think that Nomads are going to have the spades to mess with me like for no reason on A9, so I think that if I want a third town, I dream about this town here as like a stretch goal. Yeah, okay, it's E4 first, makes plenty of sense. Then they might Stronghold here and like hope to get lucky. Engineers get double spade, that's pretty filthy. Let's grab this guy first. And then we'll advance our ship, get this guy, and then this guy. Again, lots and lots of good pass tiles remain for Alchemists, so I'm not too concerned. We might see Sanctuary Air 1 for Engineers. Probably not, right? Engineers actually probably just advance their shipping. Don't down convert here, and then they double spade like I6, D7 next. One thing I haven't done yet is advance my digs, so that's something that I would like to make happen at some point. This is probably double dig here for engineers. I would take f4, i6, I think, but I could definitely see the argument for d7, just in case like anything funny happens here. And yeah, they do secure d7. This looks quite good for Nomads. If Nomads do manage to get f4, that's really nice for them. I'm probably looking for a priest town this round. Like I'm basically out of natural blacks, right? I have b5 and then I maybe I have 2 digs for 1 hex, 2 digs for 1 hex, for 2 digs for 2 hexes, 2 digs for 2 hexes. Then I need like a couple more digs, so answer shipping. Not making a lot of positive points here. This town is going to be pretty expensive dig-wise for Swarmlings. I think that it'll still work out for them, but just a little note. Fire X with two economic favors. I mean, Water 2 is an econ favor, right? Like, has really got his economy rolling. His scoring has been fine without Earth 1. It's been fine. We are a little bit concerned about getting onto pass tile this next round. We don't want to be like the chumps who are sitting there without them. So the question is this TP worth it? And I think the answer is yes. This TP has no economic downside. So the answer is yes, it's worth it. A9 is all I need to connect. Otherwise, there's H4 plus one of these hexes here, one of these 4 hexes, but I do think that I'm going to get A9. I don't think that Nomads can have much business denying me that. But I guess if they do, then I still have C4, I have D5, like, I have some outs. But clearly my preferred hex right now is A9. Alright, let's get ourselves a priest town. NGs can't really take this leech unless they're willing to burn down their power now, and I don't really know why they would be. Wow, engineers are gonna wipe their board. They're gonna beat me on network pretty badly. That's awkward and unfortunate. This is why I'm a little sad about Swarmlings upgrading here, but I guess that was always their play. Swarmlings should also be able to pass pretty happily onto Engineer's tile, so that's also quite sad. I guess there's a case that I should just be going directly for the Workers' Town already, but whatever. I'm probably going to aim to end this game with 2 temples on my board. I'll temple for Era 1 and Stronghold next round. And then advance my digs. It's probably the play for next round. I'll pass on to the Dwellings tile, buy workers with my first action, and then build my Stronghold down here. I got a free leech. I like free leech. I'm not going to take the leech from here, I think. Yeah, this is insanity from engineers, like absolute insanity. I did say that engineers were going to have a very strong game, and I did say that they were going to be able to build both big buildings this round, so that prediction is panning out. What should we be doing here? Fire X. Fire X is at 2 ship. Definitely going to be building these 2 hexes. Engineers never not building this hex. Swarmlings could pass, don't really want that pass tile, prefer engineers pass tile. So I think for tempo considerations, it's not a bad idea to just do this. Like, these dig advances do need to happen, and I think that this is a good way to just get them started. I guess the one other thing I could have done is I could have built a TP, but I don't think that my worker production likes that idea. I'm also a bit sad that I'm getting no workers off of this cult. I think probably I should take a ship. I should go for the other priest town next round. That's what I should do. Do I want this leech? I think the answer is no. I'm about to pass on to this and take a workers action anyway. I actually am a little surprised that NGs didn't go for D7. I could blow up their town, but they'd probably just take D6 and they're quite happy anyway, so whatever. I am glad they don't have Water 1. If engineers had Water 1, I would be... yeah, I'd have no chance. Okay. I think that we're happy not to take any more leech. Let's do this. Pass for this. I don't think that there's really any rush. There shouldn't be any real pressure on Air 1, I think. I'm declining this. Because I don't think that there's really any world where Nomads want Air 1 next round. They might want their Stronghold so they can get F4. I think that's a lot more likely than Nomads going for Air 1. NGs are almost out of stuff to do. Like, they could do something insane, like go for a 3rd town here, but realistically, they just need to build, like, they just need to build all their big buildings and, like, start scoring, like, continue to score tons and tons of points. I was going to say start scoring, but that's kind of a misnomer, right? They have tons and tons of points already. Firex is dominating the cult game, or dominating is probably too strong a word, but playing competitively on cults. Nomads do kind of threaten my connection, but again, I just have so many outs, right? I think that I'm supposed to play greedy here, and unfortunately this does let engineers have the coins, but I don't think that I can really avoid that, so I'm just not going to think about it. I, of course, decline all leech here. I'm going for my Stronghold, which will max out my power. It's a good time not to have anything in bowl 2 for me. And yeah, if I'm entries, I'm just taking these coins. and just not even looking back. Unless he wants like the bridge, but he can always just spend 2 workers for a bridge later. I would be taking the coins. Don't let that fall to Swarmlings, or God forbid Nomads. Nomads need coins, but like they could... It's like a double dig. I don't like that. I don't like that because it doesn't kill Nomad's town. Nomads can just town on H4 now. Swarmlings getting coins action is also like just very welcome for them. That just fell into their lap, right? Swarmlings want Fire 2 this game. They don't want Air 1. Because Fire 2 will enable their town shenanigans here. It might mean that they don't get to fully advance their digs, but that's probably a pipe dream. They can probably just advance their digs after getting their 2 more towns, which comes with 6 more workers. Yeah. I guess I can take away I4 at some point, but that's more of a stretch goal. For now, let's just get our Stronghold up and running. I mean, why not? This, like, the worker's power action's gone, so this can't be, like, that against my principles. What's going on here? Alright, so guys, we might end up with some cult points this game. We might end up with 2 cult points this game. That feels pretty good, right? Yeah, engineers are going to smash us in the endgame scoring. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see how we're going to beat Engies here. The only thing that's going for me that they don't have is that we're going to have Water 1, but Engies are going to beat us in network. They're going to end up with 1 structure on their board, probably. They're probably going to end up with like a temple on their board or something. Or maybe they'll end with 2 temples on their board. I was talking about like the single most important thing that I can do for myself here, right, is to the single most important thing left for me in this game is to try to get a 3rd town and to connect. That's what's left for me. And specifically in this round, the most important thing that's left for me to do is to try to get a pass tile in the following round. So I want to stall as best as I can. We can make a temple for 1 move, and then we can slowly start digging. And then we can advance our digs, and then we can slowly start doing other stuff. So let's do it this way. This temple for Air 1 is a no-brainer in my opinion. I don't know if I like that move. I think that I was supposed to actually take a priest power action. We'll see if Swarmlings catch on to that. Swarmlings have not advance their digs. The Swarmlings are going to outlast for sure. But I think that if I could take a priest, that would be fantastic. Then I could send priest to air. So my dreams now include taking the priest and sending the priest to air. We'll see if I'm allowed to do that. Okay, so NGs are burning down their power now that they no longer really need their power. They have all the hexes that they need. 1, 2, 3 more hexes, yeah. I could try to hurt them on D7. Like, one thing that's gone wrong for engineers is that they didn't get their stronghold out this round. I really thought that they were getting their stronghold out this round as well, which would have made them more formidable, in my opinion, as like a scoring engine. Instead, they took that double spade, which I really do think was a bit of a misstep. It's bad for me, for sure. That they, are they undoing this move? I wouldn't be shocked if they undid this move. I think that going for the strongholds and then going for a bridge town makes more sense, but it's up to them. The slowness usually indicates someone's trying to undo a move. Yeah, okay. So they're undoing this. They're probably going to bridge for a coin town. Nope, they still go for this. They might go for fire too. That's probably it. And a coin town. No, they take an 8-pointer. Okay. They do take fire too though, which I don't really get. I think that they were supposed to take Era 1 like they did. Unless they were taking a coin town, I don't really get why it was fire too, but far be it for me to complain that engineers made a suboptimal move. Nomads can now afford to take the priest. I wonder if they will. Swarmlings took water 2 for stalling. They really don't need that extra stall, but that's fine. They should have just bought the priest, I think. But okay, that's fine. I'll take this priest. Okay. And this essentially guarantees that I've outlasted engineers. I'll send priest to air. That's very good for my economy. Building a TP this round, as long as I can get another dwelling out, is not a bad idea, because the TP provides some income for me. The income that the TP provides, plus the extra Era 1 point, would offset the point loss by not building the TP in the final round. What did NGs do? NGs made a TP. Okay, that's a little random. Oh, are they actually going for this town? I don't think they can afford that town. I mean, they can. Yeah, they're not making this town. This TP was just a TP for the hell of it, I guess. Nomads will secure their bridge. That's great. They really want to make that town. Am I threatened on network by Nomads? Nomads? They have the hexes. They're only getting 1 more town, so that's good news. They have the hexes and they have cult points. So we'll see how that goes for them. Alright, I think I found my line. I think that the line is send the priest to air, dig down this hex, take a workers town, and then put the TP up on A8. The TP on A8 is almost kind of like a points neutral-ish move. Oh, it goes water 2 instead of fire 2. That kind of hurts the chances of this town, I think. Well, we'll see how that goes. One bad thing is that Nomads are heavily incentivized to sandstorm this hex. They have like no real reason not to sandstorm this hex, right? I think that I should dig this hex with my first action next round. And the TP needs to go on this B5 side. Because Nomads have nowhere else that's useful for them to actually build anymore. So hurting me is about as good as they can get with their Sandstorm. Like that's what the Sandstorm is for, right? My engineers are somehow still in this round, which that's actually probably good for me. That the stall war continues. It gives me a shot at passing in front of Nomads. I need to advance my digs here. I really, really want to advance digs and dig A9 with my first action next round. If only I can get onto like a useful pass tile. That's all that I'm asking for right now. I would go for TP and a ship town here if I'm Nomads, or a coin town. Wow, all the good towns are gone, so I definitely want workers towns now. Workers towns also give me a shot at possibly squeezing out. Possibly squeezing out more network than I was thinking, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 workers are spoken for just for the structures, so that's probably not actually happening. Oh, okay, so Swarmlings made a second temple for Air 1. That makes plenty of sense. They're overflowing their priest production, which is a bit of a bummer. FireX just decides to maximize points. I guess that's fine. He's struggling real hard for coins next round. Okay. I'm going to do this. And I'm going to take a workers town. We are in some trouble here. Okay. Let's do this. This is my new plan. My new plan is I'm turning this to black. Okay. FireX should not be able to interfere with this. Engineers will pass, and then I can just build this hex this round. So I'm just going to secure my hex. And yep, so engineers pass. They don't take the spade, which is kind of bold, but I mean, they can power spade, they have a free hex, like, seems fine. It might be my imperative to take away one of their hexes, but we'll see how it winds up going. Actually, I didn't have to do that. Nomads don't have a structure. Fire Rest obviously takes the VP tile. I never once got into the big building tile, so that's quite sad for me. That's part of why this game isn't going quite as well as you might hope. So who's taking towns? And Swarmlings are taking towns, and Nomads are taking towns. I really hope that it doesn't go worker town, but I do recognize that is a possibility. I think that we did this to secure the hex, and secure the hex we will. If we're allowed to, our first action is going to be to town for the workers' town. Man, I'm only at 91 points. Oh wait, I have 2 towns coming. Okay. I was really worried. I think that Swarmlings look like they've won. That's just how it seems to me. I think that Engineers are slightly less of a threat now that, like, they're still winning Network, but they didn't get onto a points pass tile, and they didn't build their Stronghold last round, which I really thought was going to be like a massive points engine for them. So it looks to me like they're going to advance ship and advance dig, and then they will just go temple, TP, something like that. Admittedly, that's quite profitable points-wise, and I think that it takes away my meager cult presence, because they could just go for like air 3, water 3 or something. So I think that Engineers are kind of incentivized to just like make points at my expense, though to be fair, they might only go 1 temple TP dwelling. Oh wait, they don't even have air 1. Certainly they're going to take air 1, right? There goes 1 workers town, so that sucks. Oh, this might actually be a power town. This might be a power town so that they can go for their 3rd town, but I do think a workers town is probably just better for them. But they didn't take double spade. Which is notable. They could easily have taken double spade. Now, why didn't they? Who knows? Who can say? Swarmlings might decide that the 3rd town is not worth it and just prefer to go for a manual TP instead. That would make lots of sense because, going for a manual TP probably makes sense because it's the TP round. That was a good reason to go for 2 TPs during this round. So if the rest of their game is manual TP, dig advance, then that's 12 points per TP, 12 points per dig advance, plus the 6-point town maybe? Oh, the 11-point town, shit. Okay, so that's like 24 more points coming for them. I do think that they can afford both dig advances, or maybe like 1 dig advance, maybe 2 dig advances plus the 2 TPs. That's 129, and then they'll pass for 12, 141, and then they'll have 22 points on the cults, 163 for Swarmlings. I'm projecting. Yeah, I forgot that town was there. But in any case, this clearly means that I just get a workers town here. Nomads probably take a coin town at this rate. How much stuff do I need to get to the network that I want? Also, should I contest Engineer's network? Like, I could just dig one of their hexes and then that hurts them pretty bad, right? They do take Air 1. If I just dig this guy once, so, okay, let's count how much stuff I need to do. I need to go TP, TP, dwelling, dwelling. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 workers. That's all my workers. But I'm going to have some leftover stuff with which I can meddle with C3 and A2, right? I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm just going to meddle with C3 now, and then meddle with A2 as well. And I'm just going to try to be a little annoying. That could get me 3 points. I guess I'll only do that once they actually show signs of building that TP. Yeah. Until then, I'll focus on my own stuff. Okay, the TP gets built, so I'm going to turn C3 to green. If they advance ship, I'll turn A2 to red. I can use these 2 priests as workers. I can also buy the workers' action, so I think I'm okay doing this and just being kind of a jerk. There's the expensive TP for Swarmlings. It does look like they might only be able to afford 1 dig advance, which is good. That might put them in like the upper 150s instead of the 160s like I was projecting. But I also might have done my addition wrong, because let's see, they'll be at 117 with their regular upgrade, then the dig advance, or 117 with the ship with the TP, 123 with the dig advance plus a resource point, 124. 124 plus 12, 136, and then 24 cult points, 160. It's still 160, okay. But not mid 160s. Do I have 160 in me? Is that possible that I could compete with 160? There's no way I'm getting down to 1 structure, so I think that I should meddle with engineers as hard as I can. So they don't get any funny ideas about really fighting for network. So this means I should tie them for network, which is good. Nomads could get down to 2 structures, I guess. They have a hex down here and a hex here. I could hit this hex at some point. There's a ship advance. I will turn A2 next. Nomads would need 4 hexes to make this happen, and they would need to build a whole bunch of TPs, which they can't really afford. I don't think Nomads are going to get down to 2 structures. That's my hot take. I think that I can easily see them building 3 structures, but I'm not seeing them build 4 just yet. Anyway, yeah, I am confused about this. Like, why didn't they just take the spade? And also, did I cost myself more points by the fact that I'm going to get hit by, like, engineers fighting me hard on the cults? Who can say? Is there a world where there's no world where Swarmlings get a resource point, right? No one can give them free leech. Yeah. Okay. So 123, 124 the resource point, 136, and then like this is like 160-ish maybe. Well, it took quite a while for it to be my turn again, but I think that what we said before still applies. We're converting this guy to green. FireX has definitely punted on building any more dwellings. He just bought a priest, which means that he's only focused on locking up his cults at this point. Anyway, yeah, I think engineers should be seeing that, yeah, just going on the dig track is better now. They'll get to 15, so they'll tie me, but I won't have to suffer the indignity of losing to them on network, which is nice. Okay, we don't have much of a cult game, so we'll have to see how this goes. Wow, they don't go for the dig advance. I think that the dig advance was better there, but especially because they can still make temples and TPs. Like this is, but okay, their loss. FireX has 3 TPs left. I've only got 2 TPs left, so that is a factor that, so you have to give FireX like 3 points compared to me, or 6 points compared to me because of that. Now I get 2 of those back because of Air 1. So we're comparable in terms of passing. Finally, he goes for his town. He might steal the workers' town from me. I would clearly prefer the workers' town to any other town. Do I have my sound on? Have I had my sound on this whole time? Okay. In that case, I take these workers, I think. That means that my priests can still fight a little bit. Fight a little bit on the cults, so that's good news for me. There's even a world where I go like temple TP for like something at the end, but I think that it's much more likely that I just try to build my dwellings. Okay, there's Air 3 for engineers. Yeah, that does nothing other than annoy me. So be it. So I think Swarmlings are out of tricks now, so they're not getting this point, so that's going to be 130, 159 then. So 159 is the score to beat from Swarmlings. Engineers are going to fight cults here. They're going to bump up against Swarmlings here. So it's going to be 150. Whoa. Wait, they built a dwelling. Okay. That's fine. So, fine. 131 when they pass, plus 20. This is even. This is probably behind, so this is 18, 21. 21, so 152? Why am I getting a different number every single time? I have 152 for Swarmlings. Engineers are passing for 4. They have 1 TP, one dwelling left, and probably like 2 resource points. So that's 3, 5, 113, pass 117, tie on network 132, and then is this 20? No, it's like 16 cult points or 15 cult points. So like high 140s, whatever. I guess let's focus on our own stuff now. FireX getting some nice nice free leech here. I'm sad about the workers' town going. So FireX will have 6 points on network, passes for 8. Oh, he gives up his one spot where he could get free leech. That might have been. I guess maybe he did the math and he doesn't care. Okay. I think that this is correct. We're going to take one of those lovely, lovely coin towns. The coin town is actually, so the coin town, if you take it at the end of the game and do nothing with the coins, it's worth about 6 points. It's worth about 8 points to Alchemists because these 6 coins translate into 3 points. However, I'm going to be using 2 of those coins to build a dwelling, or 1 of those coins to build a dwelling. Okay, never mind. I'm talking myself into something that's not actually there. Okay. There's nothing really good to come out of this, right? Yeah. I just have to do this. These priests aren't going to do anything. These priests are just turning into workers for my last dwelling. I mean, 8 points is 8 points. So that'll be 127 plus 2 resource points, 129. Pass for 13, 132. Wait, what? Sorry. 129, pass for 13, 142. 157 with I think it's 157, right? $159. If I'm not mistaken. So engineers will do this bump, and then that should be that. Yeah. This bump gives them 3 resource points, so they'll be at 116, 120, 135 with with network, and then this looks like 150. I think I have 150 beat. Okay. I don't think that I'm like too unhappy with any of my decisions other than bidding for Alchemists, which I didn't really want to do. However, I think that getting double dig in round 1 was like a pretty big boon that I couldn't have really predicted. So some stuff worked out in my favor, like specifically that worked out great in my favor. We'll just need, and Swarmlings not taking H7 also worked out pretty nicely for me. So we'll see if that's enough for the win here. I believe my math said that like I was pretty competitive with Swarmlings here, but we'll see. Yeah, I win by 1 point, Dongatrode is saying, and I think that that's true. I have 8 points. Yeah, the 2 resource points are what I needed to go from 157 to 159. And it looks like it was just enough to, it was enough to edge out Engineers and Nomads as well. I think Engineers might have had the game in hand, but I think they overvalued their digs in the middle of the game. They didn't wind up building on those, and the worst part is that they didn't wind up building on those grays. If they had passed for this spade instead of the cult coins, I think that they actually, like that might have been enough to drag me down, at least for sure, to like 2nd place or even 3rd place. They could be ahead of me. Like they did not get a lot of points from these cults by doing what they did. So, in any case, this was a nice win. This puts me in pole position on the Terra Mystica Tuesday League standings, I think. I guess now that it looks kind of close, let me see if I can pull up the standings. Well, I guess it's hard to tell, but you can't really see it. But I think that I'm leading the standings right now. Bonus is almost tied with me, and I think this might mean that I win the league. But we'll like I'm actually not very good with streaming. Like maybe I can share my Discords instead, but. Okay, here we go. So I am, like, this is actually incorrect. I think that I actually have 0.5 points. FireX and I each should have 0.5 points each from week 2. So I should have 9.5 right now. And I just got 6 points. I should be at 15 and a half. I actually don't know if anyone can catch me based off of that in this final week, which is my bye week, but we'll see. It would be nice to win. If I do win, then that probably means that I would qualify for the Premier League. Don't know if I could actually play during the hours of the Premier League, but I might take a couple of early Tuesdays for a while, because it would really, really be fun to be able to play against like the absolute strongest live players who are capable of playing. In any case, like we can do a quick breakdown of this game. The coins went to everyone else. I didn't take coins actions this game, and I think that ultimately I just did what was best for me, which was take workers, priests, and digs. And like that's a bit of a risky strategy, I think, because sometimes as alchemists you want to make sure that other people don't get quite as many points. FireX, do you think that you should have taken F5 as your first move? I don't think that that was going to help you. I think that what you should have done, FireX, was I think that you should have dug E6 with your first move, but with a single spade, and then taken D4. You could have gotten F5, but like I don't know that that helps you that much, and I think what you needed this game was to help you and to like I don't think that I was the right person to hurt this game either, right? Because like if you hurt me, you're not beating engineers either. And Engineers, I think, blew a lot of points late in the game. So I think that the way that you win this game is to dominate the center, um, and then maybe should have just gone Earth 1. That's a thought there. Yeah. I think that going for Earth 1 could have been good. I remember being like a little surprised by some of your passes in the mid game as well. Um, you could have like maybe prioritized taking away A9 so I don't get my third town, but that also probably isn't quite enough to like put you ahead of me. So I don't know exactly what was missing from your game. Um, but I do think that I think that I noted this early on that Swarmlings, Engineers, and Alchemists all thrive or all can do very well in like a no coin situation. But you needed coins pretty like you needed to go for Fire 1 basically because you couldn't play this like low coin type of game. Um, so that I think hurt you. I also think that I also just am not sure that Water 2 is great. It wound up being pretty great for me because it meant that you were competing with Swarmlings who were otherwise like in danger of running away with the game. It was an area where obviously I wasn't intending to get a lot of points anyway, so it let me focus on just taking other towns instead of cult towns like I usually focus on. So those are some areas that like I noticed. You also got Air 1 blocked, but I don't like I was saying this in round 5. I didn't think that there was any chance that you were gonna beat me to Air 1, for example. So yeah, I mean, like your coins issue did become like your issue late in the game, which was kind of predictable. Um, yeah, over here, so we did stuff that was good for ourselves instead of trying to take coins actions and deny the table. Um, like I didn't like one of my key decisions this game I think was passing on to the ship VP tile instead of the big building tile in round 2. I think that that was a harder decision than it might have looked like on the surface of it. Um, because I went like that gave me better power cycling, which I think that I use my power pretty efficiently, grabbing workers' actions and stuff, managing to manage my power exactly with the stronghold. Um, I paid 52 VP total this game, which is not as bad as you might think. And I basically built everything like at the right time to take advantage of my favorite tiles. And yeah, we didn't maximize the scoring, but part of that was not building a temple in round 2, which I'm pretty happy about not doing. And it wasn't the highest scoring of tracks, like if you wanted to like maximize everything else. So I think that we were lucky here. I think that we were lucky we were able that engineers like for whatever reason chose not to kill the kill the pass. Yeah, yeah, Hubert, I agree with that. Swarmlings going after E2 is clearly not like it was definitely unpredictable to me. It was an outcome that I like theoretically foresaw, but it I think that they could have done just fine by like letting you have E2, getting some more stuff for themselves. But I think that Swarmlings had a dream of getting a town here in the south, and I think that that's what this E2 hex was really about. But then they didn't. I think that they wound up putting TPs in the wrong spot, and then they realized that they didn't have quite the stuff that they wanted. They wound up going for like this water 2 and air 1 instead of fire 2. Ultimately, I do think that that was probably better for them than trying to force a third town with digs that they couldn't afford. But yeah, clearly like they were probably supposed to advance digs all the way and probably supposed to win this game given the decisions that others made. But I could also say the same about these other players. Like I think that engineers in round 5 were supposed to win this game. Um, and I have to admit that I didn't think at any point after round 1 that you were winning this game after Swarmlings took E2. I did think that you were probably in the weakest position of my opponents, unfortunately. But I think that you did really well to fight like out of this position. Like you were, this game was yeah, like you're saying, this game was only 11 points from top to bottom. So I mean, it was very strong overall. Anyway, I believe that Matt the Lesser also did some streaming for this game. He streamed Divisions 1 and Division 2. So Division 2 is also full of really strong players. So I'm going to, if anyone is interested, suggest checking out Matt the Lesser's stream as well. He is one of the, he's probably like the best, most consistent streamer currently for Terra Mystica. Like the strongest player and like a really good Like also very articulate. Um, like thinks of strategies that like I wouldn't. He thinks of like big econ strategies whereas I just go for like basic Earth One points greedy stuff. So I would recommend checking him out and seeing like if there's anything you can get out of his stuff. In the meantime, though, I am going to sign off. I'm really happy to get this win. I believe that might qualify me to win the whole league. So thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for chatting. Thanks FireX for the game. Thanks everyone for the game. And I will be back with my regular probably arena games like at some point. So see y'all.